Good morning for everybody joining us. We'll just let everybody give it a few minutes just to let everybody trickle in. Thank you for joining us on this happy Friday.
Woohoo!
Recording in progress.
Good morning. Thank you for everybody joining us. We're just going to give everybody a couple of minutes to get in and then we'll get started. Good morning again. For those joining us, we'll just do one more minute and then we'll get started with this webinar. All right. Good morning and happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining us for this member benefit webinar that we have. We're so excited to welcome Tech Helpline today, one of our most chatted about member benefits that we have. It's always kind of the talk of our conferences and stuff. Everybody's pretty much chatting about the Tech Helpline. So I want to introduce, let's see, we have Jessica Smith with the Tech Helpline and Florida Realtors. Carl Johnson, who is one of the better techs. Is that what you said, Jessica? One of the tech pros. And in the chat, watching the chat and Q&A, we have Halal joining us as well. So if you have any questions, you can put them in there, but Jessica will get us started. And so just thank you again for all of y'all logging on today. We are recording this and we will post it under our member benefits with all the other webinars that we've been doing monthly. So if you missed something, just check back there and we'll get it posted probably on Monday. So, all right, let's go, Jessica.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Danielle. Hello, everyone. Louisiana Realtors members who decided to join us here on this fun Friday. As Danielle mentioned, my name is Jessica Smith. I am the Director of Sales for Florida Realtors Technology Team. I oversee the customer experience and sales for both Form Simplicity, our transaction management platform, and Tech Helpline, which you have as a member benefit. And with me, as Danielle mentioned, is Carl Johnson. I wouldn't say he's one of our better techs because all of our techs are incredible, but Carl and I love to do these webinars together because we do have some really excellent banter. Wouldn't you say, Carl?
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you all for having us, of course, and giving us the time of day to tell you about what we do.
That's wonderful. Yeah. So as Danielle mentioned, Carl is one of our techs who sit on the Tech Helpline with us. And so he is a great asset today to help us better understand not only how you reach us and what we do, but why members like you might be calling us. So let's start with kind of the nuts and the bolts of Tech Helpline and just talk about what it is and how it can benefit you as a Louisiana Realtor member. So Tech Helpline is really just what it sounds like. It's a call center for realtors who are having technology issues. I think one of the biggest misnomers of Tech Helpline is people think it has to be realtor related. The technical challenge has to be something that has to do with real estate or your business or your professional life, and couldn't be further from the truth. At Tech Helpline, we really want to help you with everything, whether it's on the go, in the home, like a smart appliance, on the go, like you can't get your Bluetooth to connect with the rental car, things like that we assist with as well. So it doesn't just have to be realtor related, although our team does have a lot of experience in the realtor world. Our entire team is located in the Florida Realtors building in Orlando, Florida. So while we do serve about 785,000 realtors across the United States and in Canada, our team is located down here in the East Coast in the Florida Realtors building. So you're talking to people in the US, people familiar with the realtor world, and honestly, techs who are just really kind and professional people. Speaking of the team, we do have 25 techs. Believe it or not, with this size of a team versus the amount of people that we serve, this still keeps our hold times very, very low. Our current hold time average is less than 1 minute and 30 seconds. So that means a lot of the times when you call, you're going to call and speak to one of these awesome team members right away, or just have a minute or two wait time. As you see here, they have all sorts of different levels of experience, and they really draw on each other's experience to assist callers. So if you call and you have an Apple-centric issue and you're talking with a tech who may not be our top Apple person to discuss that with, he or she will then confer with that tech or transfer you over to that tech to get you the most specific help possible. But they also have all different types of certifications, and they keep these up throughout their time with us. All right, so this isn't just a page of logos. This is actually ways that we can help you out, all right? I know there's a lot on this page. Carl, I was looking at these logos before we got started, and it's pretty cool how we can link up these logos to mean certain things. But I was actually impressed with everything you guys help with. Like, it's a lot.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have to be well-rounded here in order to kind of encapsulate everything that you are going to run to in your day-to-day life. I mean, just imagine from going from your phone to your computer back to a tablet, all these kind of devices, we need them to synchronize, especially in the real
Yes.
estate world. We have to have all these communicating, talking together, and then just your everyday issues. Let's say a Word document's acting up. It's just you can't get the formatting right how you need it. That's where these certifications and all this extra kind of schooling and training we go through and do really can exceed and go throughout any of these kind of topics here. Maybe not as in depth as an industry leading professional, but we're right there next to them, since we have to kind of encapsulate more than one general topic at a time. We have to kind of encompass everything.
And you said that right on. And I feel like as someone who sells goes around the country to trade shows, I feel like what the realtors have to go through in terms of switching technology gears, it's just really intense. Like I've never seen in any other industry. It's not only that they're asked to, constantly learn new products, but they're also having to go, as you mentioned, between the tablet, between the cell phone, back to the laptop. And when you have things like, why can't I get my Outlook to update on my phone and my laptop? Like those things can be a true hindrance to business. Like as a salesperson, I know because I get flustered too, and it could be really like it can stop you from moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what we do every day. We help people get past the point of stopping. I mean, just as a brief example, I actually spoke with one of our Louisiana members, Wendy, yesterday. She spent hours on the phone with her MLS trying to access the website. She couldn't for whatever reason.
Oh man.
Once I remoted in there, took a look at it, we had to assess everything. I was like, all right, Wendy, let's try it from your phone. Does it work? Oh, it works. Okay, so we know it's probably isolated to the computer here. And then, long story short, once we realized we kind of found our ducks in a row, she just had some browser issues that we had to clear up. Once we grabbed a new browser, tried it out first, it worked perfectly. So
Wow.
that led us to the solution, got her in, and she went, man, you just saved me 3 hours of my time. Well, I wish I called you first. I would
Yeah,
have
for
saved three
real.
more hours of my time.
Right.
But yeah, just little examples like that, things we take for granted every
Yeah.
day, just accessing your MLS.
Hmm.
You'll get a wrench thrown at you, and that's what we're here to assist with, to help fix your problem immediately, not a week from now, 2 weeks from now, whenever they have free time. We always have free time for you.
Wow, so well said. And yeah, that syncing bit, I know that's a big call generator in and of itself. So I know that's a big one for most members. So I'm not going to read all these off to you, Louisiana Realtor members, because you can read obviously, but these are just some of those items we help with. Next up are some things that you may not realize you can call us for, but these I would say are our top 10 reasons you may not think to reach out to us. First is advice for new technology. I love this one, especially around birthdays, the holidays. If you are going to give a gift to someone in your life and you have no idea, you're like, I want to get a tablet. And then you just Google tablets and you are overwhelmed. You're laughing at me, Carl, but look, that's where I would have started.
Mhm.
And, so that is something that our team can help you with. And, as I mentioned earlier, it's a really caring and kind group of team members who will literally listen and say, okay, what's the budget you're looking at? What would you use this for? What would your, wife or husband or daughter or son use this for? And really hear you and then whittle down some options to give to you. And, they don't get kickbacks. They have no incentive to tell you a certain product. They just want to make sure it's the product that would serve you the best. So that's a great one. Carl, do you have an Alexa or a Google Home smart speaker?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah, absolutely.
so those can be a little cumbersome to set up sometimes.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's just they don't make any of this stuff easy for regular people to set up. I mean, honestly, I've even looked at the instructions. I mean, man,
Wow.
these instructions they could be a little bit more detailed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Alexa, Google Homes. I mean, I've set up multiple of these. It's a part of our everyday life. I mean, I would be very surprised any tech that you would call into hasn't set up one of these before.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my parents, my mom's got one in her bathroom. Then she walks into the living room, she's got one there. Like she's trying to put
Wow.
one in every single room that she
Wow.
can.
Mm-hmm.
So these are super common and really cool tools if no one's ever used them before. I mean, just not for anything but just setting alarms. I mean, my mom refuses to set an alarm on her phone anymore. She just yells, Alexa, set up the alarm at 5 o'clock for
That's
5 minutes or
funny.
whatever it is. That's all she does now throughout the household. She's really enjoying the new technology, but it can be a little awkward sometimes if you're on the phone or anything.
That's too funny. So, if you call and you want some help setting one of these up, you just call and ask for Carl, and he's
Hmm.
going to tell you how to
Absolutely.
properly yell at the speaker to get its attention. Third, this is one of my favorite ones because someone actually mentioned this to me at a trade show, but it's parental controls on gaming devices.
Hmm.
So I don't know, Carl, we've talked about this before. I don't know if some of the techs kind of feel vindicated when they get to help with this one where a member may call and say, hey, so and my so and so is grounded. I need to put
Hmm.
some parental controls on this gaming device. And
Hmm.
the techs are happy to help with that one, right?
Oh, absolutely. But you got to understand, most of us are gamers too, so we're kind of like,
True.
come on, you go a little light on them. Do it just a week instead of a month. We try to shorten the time for them if we can. We try to argue for the kids.
That's funny. The fourth one I use all the time, casting from your mobile device to the TV. As someone who travels all the time, many of you realtors do as well. I love being able to cast. I feel like this technology should be on every TV, at every hotel, every Airbnb. It should just be baked in. Wouldn't you agree, Carl? It's just so easy to cast.
Oh, it's a matter of time, really. It's
You
just
know?
phasing out all the older
Mhm.
technology. Anything you buy brand new now, you can cast to it directly. So it's
Mhm.
just give it, another 3 to 5 years. We'll be casting to everything, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Maybe casting to Alexa, my
Oh,
brain. Alexa,
okay.
listen to the alarm that I would like set, please. I mean, scary, but possibly true at some point. All right, number 5, getting your iTunes library or sharing your Spotify playlist. As a music lover, I love this option. And honestly, I wouldn't have thought to call for this reason. This is the one on the list that I would not, I don't share this with people, but it is such a great one, you
Well,
know?
yeah, I mean, I help collaborate and put together like old CD kind of
I
collections, and
love
we
that.
compile them together, put them in a playlist so
Wow.
you guys can access them. Yeah, I mean, we help plenty of people out with really all sorts of, really, it's anything your imagination can come up with. If you have a problem with it, we're going to at least try,
Wow.
at the very least. But anything like music, really, especially, is something, I wouldn't say is a common call, but definitely have plenty of people who call us and ask for help.
Hmm.
Even just figuring out, hey, what's a good like radio station I could put on for free?
Oh,
Just
wow.
little questions like
Yeah,
that too. There's so many free resources out there.
good
We
call.
have a lot of that information for y'all if you ever just need something like that.
I'm going to ask a very important question to all the Louisiana Realtors members listening in right now. Who remembers the CD booklets? All right. How many times did we have to rebuy CDs back in the day? All right. Back in the 90s, we had to get those CD booklets over and over. Carl, I don't know if you'll ever know the struggle of driving and trying to pick out a CD. Okay. It wasn't very
I
safe.
was the designated CD picker. I had to go through
Okay.
the flip
See,
books,
you did it
but
smart.
it
Yeah.
was almost before my time though. I did catch the tail end of it though.
Well, lucky you, lucky you. I'll sort of breeze through a couple of these other ones. Image formatting issues. This is actually a very common problem. Sometimes I will have to open with, when I'm
Hmm.
opening an image, it will just default to a PDF. I actually need to call the Tech Helpline about this. It won't default to JPEG files. So,
I got you.
I love that we help with that. Setting up hotspots from our smartphone. This is another super useful tool. When we go to a lot of these conventions, Carl, there is, even if there's free Wi-Fi, it's just jammed up. So using your phone as a hotspot in some of these crowded locations is really helpful.
Oh, absolutely. You're traveling, you're connected to a
Hmm.
hotel, you just can't connect to it for whatever reason. And
Exactly.
even issues with your own home internet. A hotspot's a
Totally.
great troubleshooting step to tell us, okay, it is your internet that's causing the
Hmm.
issue, or it is your computer, whatnot. So yeah, mobile hotspots, you kind of have to have
You
the
do.
ability to do that to an extent if you're traveling at all.
For sure. I love that we help with Apple CarPlay or
Mhm.
Android Auto. Android Auto, if I could say it, is actually such a great tool as an Android user. Love that. Let's see, what are some other things? Pairing iPod or AirPods or other Bluetooth devices. I'd say
Mhm.
that can be a really frustrating thing. And sometimes I don't understand why you have to turn off and turn on again the Bluetooth, like, to
Mhm.
get it to work. What's
No,
up with that?
you gotta find the pairing button.
Yeah.
Bluetooth is a great technology, but you guys gotta understand it's very basic. It's very, this has been around for a long time, and there hasn't been very many industry changes to it. So
Yeah.
as great as it is, it's definitely not perfect, and I don't think we'll see any major innovations in Bluetooth anytime soon, but I don't see anything taking over it either. So
Yeah.
it's just it's a really reliable one though, so that's why it's kind of stood the test of time here.
Yeah, true, true. It just gets a little fussy sometimes.
Oh, for sure.
And then finally, mail merging labels for contacting your clients or for holiday cards. I love that. That's something that, again, I probably would not have thought to call, but it's something you guys can help with. It's great.
Yeah, actually a lot more common call than you would
Wow.
believe it or
Wow.
not. That is we help with mailing labels a lot.
Wow.
And anybody out there who does use them, I would suggest Avery labels. They could do everything online for you. It really makes your life so much easier. If you can just format an Excel spreadsheet, that's really all. You just need a list of your people. So if you are interested in that, call us. We'll help you get set up with Avery and whatnot. Even if you don't necessarily use their actual brand labels, their website's free to use as long as you log into it. So it just makes your life so much easier than trying to figure it out in Word or Excel and then paste it onto the envelope. Yeah, they
Because they
make it
have the
so much easier.
templates built in.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, that is
And they
super
have
easy.
software built in to pretty much just kind of do it all for you. You just
That's
kind of say
great.
first name here, last name here, address here, then boom, they kind of make everything for you, a nice, easy, printable out. Like I said, you don't need to use Avery's products to do that too. It can be an off-brand one or
Oh,
anything
cool.
similar, as long as we find the matching sheet. That's all you need.
Yeah, good call. Wow. I am going to call you guys about that next month. Okay, so here are some ways that you can reach us. So, as I mentioned, all of our team is US based. You can reach us 6 days a week, and we have a dedicated toll free number for for you Louisiana members to use specifically. We do help in both English and Spanish if you need. And then here are the ways that you can reach us. Now, don't worry, when this screen goes away, I'm going to show you other ways that you can connect with us. but this is your dedicated phone number right here. You can also email us if you would prefer to not talk to someone. You could chat with us if you would like. And then you can download the mobile app where you can initiate a chat straight from there. You can initiate an email or a phone call straight from there. So if you see this QR code and you want to link it real quick, this will just open up the Apple Store or the Google Play Store for you and download that app. You can reach us 6 days a week, and hours are listed right here for you. But if you do email us after hours, the team will get back to you within 24 business hours. And then if you're like, no, wait, Jessica, go back to that slide. This information lives on the Louisiana Realtors website. So if you just go to larealtors.org/member benefits, you will find all of the information on Tech Helpline support right there for you. I'm not going to read these out to you, but we do get a lot of wonderful feedback, I would say on a very daily basis from members around the country singing the praises of people like Carl. So, we are very, very grateful to have people like Carl on our team to assist our members with. So all that to say, I'm going to stop sharing here so everyone can just see our wonderful faces full screen. Carl, do you want to go over some of the top call generators?
Yeah, absolutely. Number one, I always love to try to stress this, and it may not be this region's top call generator necessarily, but guys, you run into email issues so much, and we need to ensure that I feel like an email to a realtor is probably one of the most important resources, bearing like your entire cell phone, like somebody calling you, texting you. There's so many weird, bizarre issues you're going to run into on your email, whether it's trying to send out an attachment and it's not going out, trying to access, Outlook and it just doesn't open, or even some major problems where it says your whole Outlook profile is corrupted. We can't open it anymore. We really try to dive in there and get everything back exactly like it was. And if we can't do it a one-to-one perfect copy, we're going to get it as close to that as we can. It's just I would say, such a frustrating thing that people deal with. And if you don't work with email services every day, don't try to be a hero. You know what I mean? Just call us. That's really what we're here for, to save you time and fix your problem immediately, not a week from now, not 2 weeks from now. I know I've already said that before, but I really can't stress that enough. It's immediate relief for your technology issues, not any sort of delay, because your business is now. It's not ever tomorrow or the day after. You've got more important things to do, and we understand that. So just trust us to take a look at that, and if we can't fix it, we're going to point you in the right direction no matter what here.
So Carl, first of all, let me remind all the members who are listening right now, if you have any question on the topic that we're talking about, or something we've already talked about, or something we haven't mentioned yet, feel free to drop that question in the chat, raise your hand, and Halal from our team will alert us, and we'll go ahead and talk about those issues. But I do have a question on
What's
email. That? Okay. I would say probably the most annoying thing in my email life are all of the spam emails that I get. And I feel like, especially with my Gmail, for instance, and it gets to the point where it's overwhelming to like subscribe or unsubscribe individually from these, organizations that have gotten my info. Is there a way to do more of like a bulk unsubscribe, or are there tools that we can utilize to help us get off some of these junk email lists?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. So there's been some changes in how people have to create unsubscribe lists. They've made some changes. I believe it was legislation that had to come in and do this, but they actually made it to where you need to make it very easy to unsubscribe from multiple spamming lists here. If you don't, then you're going to get flagged by some sort of organization, and they're going to come fine you. Who wants to get fined? So a lot of these major companies have complied to this just because they have to, and because of that, services like Gmail, and I'm sure Yahoo and a few other ones have it, but Gmail specifically does have an area where you can go in and check to see what you've currently been subscribed to, and
Ooh,
actually unsubscribe to them through a just kind of like a checkbox list.
amazing.
So it's something newer. It's been probably within the last year or two that that's been released. But definitely for our Gmail users, it's easier than ever. So it's just a
Awesome.
matter of time if they're, those other services like Yahoo haven't implemented it, that they will. But yeah, there's tons of ways now to make it easier. A year or two ago, no, yeah, good luck. You got to find it, hit unsubscribe. Hopefully they don't ask you for anything else.
Yeah,
You know what
right.
I mean? It's kind
It's
of like
like
a gym
20 clicks
membership.
sometimes. Yes, yes.
Yeah. They try to hook you in there and keep you
Yep.
there for forever. I don't know if anyone
They
here
do.
has ever tried to cancel a gym membership. It is tough
It
sometimes.
is. It is.
They're like, if you move at all, you got to come in, and I'm like halfway across the country. No, you got to come in still to
Yeah.
cancel the membership, or
Yeah.
we're gonna charge you anyways. So
It's ridiculous.
it's been very much like that for a while, but they've
Mhm.
just recently in the last year or two started changing it.
Because I have noticed every once in a while I'll get a pop up that says, "Do you
Mhm.
want to unsubscribe from this?" Like if it's an email that I
Exactly.
don't typically open. So I love that smart
hmm
reply from Google.
Yeah, and there's a little section within Gmail you can go to actually see the full list and
Okay,
everything.
great.
So I'll show you it after.
Awesome. Wonderful. Hey, Lal, did we have a question? All right, let's move on to the next one. What about printer issues, Carl?
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever had a printer without an issue. I've never have. They always run into some sort of issue, whether it just stops printing, it's
Hmm.
not connected. And again, most of the time, your issues are going to come from those wireless printers because as great as they are and as great as the internet is, it just isn't reliable sometimes. Whether your power goes out or the printer wants to act up, there's so many different conflicting factors that
Hmm.
can go there. But really, if it's just a brand new printer or a printer you've had for 10 years, give us a call. We'll take a look at it. We'll try to identify it. And a lot of people, in their office, they can scan the email, for example, right? Well, we could set that up in your home too. All we need to do is get some information about what email you want to send it from, and then just again, some more specific printer information so we can go into the back end and you'll be here watching us every step of the way. Because keep in mind, we're going to remote in with you on your computer. We're not going to make you do all the work here. We're going
Hmm.
to do the work for you. And if you want to ask questions while we're doing it, please do. Of course, that's what we're here for, to kind of keep the transparency and let you know what we're doing. And if you just don't really care and you want to walk away for a second and grab some breakfast, you could do that too. Really,
That's
whatever works,
right.
as long as we have the correct information, we'll be able to get it done either way. But yeah, printer issues. I don't know anybody who hasn't ever had a printer issue, and again, even if it's a cable connection, we can help you out. You'd be so surprised. There's very rarely any printer issue you're going to run into that cannot be solved remotely. They are very easy to work with in terms of remotely. Again, hardware failures happen, but they're really, really rare, believe it or not, on most modern models here.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. That's really good to know. I do know that printers can cause so much stress
hmm
and so many issues. I do see two questions in the chat. Hilal is writing back one person. We have another one. Can we help people set up automatic emails for the holidays,
Oh
Carl?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So whether you want it to go out to just one person or like a group of people, or you want it to be kind of, for lack of a better term, like a vacation responder. Every time someone
Hmm.
emails you, you get an auto reply back to them. Yeah, there's tons of different ways you could really set that up, or create maybe custom templates you can always come back to at a later date. And then kind of, let's say you create a great one for this year, all we got to do is change it to next year's date and then send it out again to whoever you want to go out to. So there's tons of different options and different things we can do here for y'all. So yeah, please
Depending
just
on the
call us and
program
ask.
that they want to use and things, what their workflow is, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Everyone's unique to a degree, so we always, as much as I want to say there's a general solution for everything, we always have to specialize little bits in here for
Definitely.
everybody, and that's what you want anyways. You
Hmm.
don't want the general blanket for everybody. It just works. Good luck. You'll
Right.
see 20 other people with the same thing. No, we'll really take the time to help you customize it and really get it the way you want it to be, or at least as close to that as we possibly can.
And not only that, but like certain brokers will make their agents utilize certain CRMs, for instance, or, different tools. Many different realtors are asked to use specific tools. And so, there really isn't a one size fit all approach. It's just based on
No.
what they're using and things like that.
Yeah, everyone's setup is slightly different, and they're like you said, their workflow is slightly different. So it's always going to be unique, and we'll always do our best to get it exactly how you want it.
Awesome. So let's talk about the next issue, computer performance and slow systems. This is always one of my favorite ones because I feel like my computer is never going fast enough for my brain.
Oh yeah. So there's a couple things about this that I love to tell people. So I would say primarily most people that call in are typically on a Windows device, and they go, "Man, I don't know why my computer is running so slow right now. It's just bogging down on performance." Call us. I mean, really, a lot of times, especially with Windows devices and even your Macs and other devices. I don't know if any of y'all are familiar with things like Linux and things like that, but they do exist out there. They're definitely there. Very uncommon, but your computer is. I wouldn't say is like a car. You need to maintain it, but you still need to take care of it. You don't
Absolutely.
you don't leave your car on for 30 days straight, for example. And again, you can leave a computer on for 30 days straight, but you're not doing it any favors. And again, if I stayed up for 30 days straight, I wouldn't be running right too. You know what I mean? So a lot of stuff like this, we kind of take for granted when it comes to just basic computer performance. Nowadays, any sort of your kind of newer devices, they're really easy to kind of maintain. They've really taken all the guessing work out of it. But anything 5 years or older, we still have to kind of take some of our older processes of what we would go through in doing general maintenance, whether you have a hard disk drive and we need to defrag it, whether or not you just can't really search for files on your computer reliably. There's a lot of things we could do, like rebuilding your search indexes and things like that, or really just getting you back to normal. Every time your computer is running slow, there's an explanation as to why. And it's really not that hard to identify it from a remote standpoint either. But if your computer is running that slow, it may take us 10, 15 minutes to get in and find the answer for you. So bear with us if it is something to that extreme. But yeah, really, most of these solutions or these problems you run into performance can be fixed remotely as well. Bearings, like I said, hardware failures, things like that, you just simply can't see. But yeah, a lot of times nowadays, these are really easy to fix up, especially if you're getting low on storage and whatnot. We're going to help you get rid of enough storage just so we can get in there with you, and then we'll do the rest. We may have to walk you through some little steps here and there. So just bear with us and be a little patient with us so we can get you fixed up the right way.
I am admittedly one of those slackers who leaves my computer on too much. I am sorry, but to my fellow computer leaver honors out there, you are not alone. And I'm trying to get better at it, Carl. I know I admitted this to you last time, but
If you just restart it regularly, you'll be fine. But if
okay,
you
okay.
don't even do that at all, yeah, you're gonna feel
Gonna
the
run
pain
into problems.
eventually.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah.
and things will just break randomly, especially on Windows if you go too long
Oh
without a
goodness.
restart. So, when in doubt, restart your system. I'm telling you,
Yes.
that's a great solution. And of course, when in doubt, call us as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the whole did you turn it off and turn it back on again can be so annoying in the moment, but there is actually nothing more true sometimes. I mean, it does
Hmm.
just take that sometimes. We have some questions in the chat, so I wanted to just run through a few of these. Someone asked, can we sync social media accounts to only post on one and they all get synced to all? And yes, we can assist with social media posting in terms of, I can't remember those systems that are utilized, but where you can post it once. It's kind of like a
Yeah.
hub.
Yeah. Your CRMs can handle a lot of this. You do need some sort of a third-party application though, because there's no kind of built-in way right now, because all these platforms, you got to understand, they
They're
compete.
competing. Yeah.
Yeah, they compete. So as
For
much
your
as they
time.
would benefit from collaborating together, they do not.
Yes, totally.
They really don't want you to collaborate together if they can avoid it. They want you on their platform and their platform only. But with that being said, there are things, especially CRMs, and there's even companies. I mean, I've worked with some other realtors in Florida about a service called RealGrader that will manage and maintain all your social media for you, help you update with correct new kind of pictures and
Oh,
formats
cool.
and everything. So there are a lot of good services out there that we can point you to that we can't necessarily do ourselves or built in without becoming programmers and writing the whole thing for you, which unfortunately we aren't able to do.
I mean, we try to do everything, but we can at least point them in the direction of platforms that can do these sorts of
Exactly.
things. Because,
Exactly.
yeah, I know. Again, like realtors are truly expected to be everything. One of my closest friends is a realtor here in North Carolina, where I live, and we talk a lot about the hats that she wears. She's often a therapist. She's a salesperson, of course. She has to be a techie person, also marketing, communications. I mean, it really just doesn't end. And so to have some of these tools in place that our techs can help guide them towards can be really, really useful. So,
Definitely.
okay, I have a question. There's another question in the chat that I actually do not know the answer to, and
Mhm.
I'm unfamiliar with this platform. But she asks, can we assist with A2P approval process? Also, can we assist with setting up a workflow on the Go High Level platform? And I'm not too familiar with that. Not sure if you are.
No, I wouldn't be able to tell you I'm immediately familiar with either of those off the top of my head here. But what I try to tell people, if we don't have the answer immediately, we'll find you the answer.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to try to go through and look for the answer. Every day we find a new topic that we haven't encountered before. If you're not learning, you're not working is kind of my motto here when we're working on the Tech Helpline. So again, for something like that, that's really specific with the platform. If
Mm-hmm.
we can't get you the answers immediately, we're going to go in and find out where you can go get the answers. We're
Mm-hmm.
we're going to do everything in our power to really narrow it down and get you where you need to go. As much as I love playing phone tag and getting transferred from one call center to the other, to the other, to the other, there's nothing worse.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do everything in my power to get you to where you need to go if we can assist with that. But no matter what, I always tell people, let's take a look at it together first. Let's see if maybe you and I can figure it out. We can learn on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
But again, things like issues, let's just say for your MLS or anything, you'll save time if you just get to them directly. So we would
Mm-hmm.
try to transfer you over in that regard. But yeah, those specific services, always call us first if you
Mm-hmm.
don't know where to go next.
And that's a great point, and something worth mentioning that I have neglected to mention yet. So there are a few things that Tech Helpline does not assist with, and those are our proprietary softwares when we get real deep in the weeds there. Okay, so Carl, you mentioned the MLS, right? Now, if there's an issue with maybe the MLS listing is importing the incorrect data,
Oh yeah.
and someone calls about that, we would not be able to assist with that issue per se, but a couple things. One, when we onboard associations, we get
Mhm.
all of their MLS info. So you
Mhm.
as a tech, you have access to those MLS support lines. So we can either give the number out or do a direct transfer for the member,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, absolutely. And then again, a lot of times too, you'll be on a website like that, like, and you're uploading a photo. They're probably not going to help you out with that. You could still call us
Exactly.
and we
Yep.
can help you upload a
Yep.
photo.
Yep.
It's those really specific things when you ask me to run a market analyst report with you and really narrow down the details you need on that. I'm going to go, ooh,
Right. Right.
we may need to get you over to, somebody there at the MLS. But yeah, your general things on websites like that or any service like that, we will absolutely help you out with. And like I said, we'll take a look at it no matter what. We're not going to say no
Yeah,
ever, pretty
including like
much.
resetting the password or something like that. Maybe somebody doesn't even just know, like they forgot their password and they're not sure
Yeah.
how to go through that process. That's something that we can assist with. It's just when
Yeah.
we really get in the weeds of, let's say there's a transaction in zip forms or
Hmm.
that is misfiring. We can't get in that deep for some
Hmm.
of these proprietary softwares, but we can ensure A, you can get in there. B, there are no like pop-up blockers or, things like that standing in their way, right? That's probably a
Yeah.
common thing,
Yeah,
actually.
very common.
Hmm.
We try to make sure it's not your fault, it's something they're doing wrong or something on the website that's the issue. And
Yeah.
and that's what we're really good at double checking and make sure, and oh hey, you had a typo here. Oh hey, this is
That's nice of
autofilling
you.
an old password. It happens.
Hmm.
And again, we're all human. I'd be lying to tell you if I don't have to reset a password every once in a while too. It's part of it. It's
It
it's
is.
really something that is a lot more common, and people feel embarrassed about. They're like, oh, I can't believe I'm calling it. It's a lot better than spending 20 minutes on it. I'll tell you.
For real. For
Save the
real.
time.
Hmm.
Save the. Don't
Yes.
worry about being embarrassed. Save the time. We love easy calls like that, especially too. So don't ever worry about being embarrassed or anything like that.
Yeah, and I think this is a good segue. Our team definitely never thinks any question is like beneath them
Mhm.
or not worth their time, anything like that. You just heard Carl say, like, we love an easy call. I
Yeah.
mean, I can imagine being on call after call after call. If you get one that's a little bit easier, it gives you a second to breathe, right? So there's no judgment there. But also, I just wanted to speak to, you know, AI is available to some people now. And so that can be a resource. However, I feel like there is something about the realtor industry. Realtors are people, like,
Hmm.
and they like to connect with other people. And I do think that, AI obviously is not perfect. It is not, the answers it provides are not always 100% correct. So I
Hmm.
do feel, and of course, humans aren't 100% correct either, but I do feel there is a strong connection still between getting assistance from another person rather than just trying to, ask a chatbot or something of that nature. You can just go a little bit further, I feel like, with that human to human assistance.
Yeah, you can understand what they're asking. And again,
Exactly.
an AI bot, as much as it seems like it understands, it's guessing.
Right.
It really is truly guessing. It has
Hmm.
no thought process behind it. It
Hmm.
very much will repeat the same answer to you if it can. It will try to do something like that. So
Hmm.
yeah, you always want to have some, at least for right now, another person looking at this, double checking things, because those,
Yeah.
as great as they are, as you mentioned, they're not perfect, and they
Right.
make a ton of mistakes if you really look into it nitty gritty.
Yeah, you definitely can see that. Oh, speaking of, one fun fact, I don't know if you all know this, but personally, I don't love the AI search results on Google. So if you're typing something in the search bar and you want to eliminate that, you can just type best cat food for kittens. I love cats. Best cat food for kittens minus AI. And that will actually give you the search results without that AI summary at the top. So,
Yeah, a lot of people think the AI summary at the top is the answer.
right.
It is a collection of answers. It's
Yes.
kind of search probably from just that first page there.
Yep. Yep.
You guys got to understand. I mean, when you're in college, when you're in high school, you have to cite your source.
Yes.
This doesn't necessarily need to cite its source at all to
Mm-hmm.
you. It
Mm-hmm.
it will try, but
Mm-hmm.
you could go in, if you go into the actual source, it may be something completely irrelevant,
Yep.
completely different. And
Yes.
again, these services will get better over time, but with them being newer, they are prone to give you the incorrect answer. So I would always say don't rely on that AI answer. It can be correct, but a lot of times you'll find that it is off or incorrect, or it's kind of mixing together like six different answers into one, which doesn't really apply in the situation that you're questioning for. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of Google's AI assistant in that regard either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it hasn't been great for me either, and I feel so smart knowing a little workaround. Um, so Carl, let's touch on a couple more of these
Sure.
top call generators for Louisiana realtors based on their
Yeah.
call history. Is there one or two that you want to talk about?
Oh, I mean, mobile device setup and syncing. I mean, I know we've pretty much gone over this, but yeah, I mean, guys, you'd be so surprised. We can remote in with you on your phone too. We
Yes.
can take a look at, oh, this app is giving me an issue, or I can't get this so and so to
Mm-hmm.
work on my phone. We can go through that and help you out. And again, emails on your phone coming in on your computer, but not coming in on your phone. Again, that's something we go through whether you have an Android, an Apple, whatever type of device you have, tablet. I mean, really, you'd be so surprised how easy it is to sync your calendars, to sync your emails, to sync your contacts. There's so many different things, and even I try to tell people, getting photos and videos from your phone to your computer or vice versa.
Yes.
You guys deal with photos and videos all day long.
Right.
There's so many different avenues and different ways now to sync everything, and you don't necessarily need to connect your cord to your phone or anything like that. There's so many synchronization methods that we have. We can really, really iron out any issue you have on your phone, just like we could on your computer.
Hmm.
There are, of course, exceptions to the rules, but again, very rarely is there an issue on a phone that we can't tackle and resolve. It's just getting us into there is always seemingly the hard part, getting you to find the app and whatnot. But once we're in, it's like I said, it's smooth sailing.
And to speak to that, there are a lot of times where members will call us from all over the country, and not know a lot of very basic technology terminology. Like if a tech asks a member to maybe put something in the URL, some people
Hmm.
don't know what that is. And I'm sharing that to let you know that if that is you, you're totally not alone. And there are tons of technology terms that I personally don't know. I'm the people person, not the, Carl's a techie person, but I just want you to feel comfortable to know that you can literally call us about anything and not to feel any sort of embarrassment or uncertainty. Like that's literally what we're here to do. We're here, and Louisiana Realtors offers us to you to literally save you money. This is one of those member benefits where it's a very high value added proposition to your member dues. Okay. This is one of the things where Louisiana Realtors, they don't want you to have to go to Best Buy or to a local computer repair shop. They want us to be able to handle that for free to save you money. So, anytime you have one of these issues, just contact us, and we'll walk you through it. Carl, is there one last call
Well,
generator we want to go over before we wrap it up?
we will, but real quick, we did get a question
Oh,
about
sure.
multi-factor authentication, which kind of goes
Great
in,
one.
into the mobile devices here. So we'll
Mm-hmm.
we'll grab that real quick here. So multi-factor authentication, that's something you're seeing more and more now. When you go to sign into different services, it's got to text
Yes.
you a code or tell you, hey, open up your authenticator app and select the 83 number or whatever. These issues are, and I wouldn't even say issues, these security measures are becoming more and more common
Yes.
and more standardized. So again, if you guys need a nice central app to work with all that, we can help you find one that will kind of help you sync everything together, a nice one neat organized place. Like I use the Google Authenticator for probably 7 or 8 different like apps here. I don't know if you could
I
tell, but
didn't know you could do
oh
that.
yeah, yeah. I have one big authenticator app that's tied to my
Wow.
Google account that kind of has all my separate accounts here for my work, for email,
That
for
is
like
cool.
games I play. Yeah, there's a bunch of different things you can really attach and combine in one nice little neat area. And it really it's so difficult when you're first getting into multi-factor authentication to just get your ducks in a row, get organized. Why do I have to enter this code after?
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
There's
Right.
so many different reasons too, but it is a great security layer here. So if somebody were to ever hack into your account, get your username and password, well, they need your cell phone in order to get in. So if
Mm-hmm.
they don't have their cell phone physically, that's that's why a multi-factor authentication is so important. Having these extra layers of security to prevent anybody from getting in and grabbing your data. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, great question. And please always contact us about multi-factor authentication or password managers. We would love to help you out with that.
Mm-hmm.
And you can even sync them between devices too. So if you need
Oh,
to
cool.
transfer it from one phone to another, or get passwords from your phone to your computer or vice versa, we could do all of that. That's all kind of encompassed here.
Yeah, and I mean, as someone who complains to my husband all the time that, if I could only tally the amount of time that I have spent doing two-factor authentications, I mean, sometimes I'm just like, wow, this is like taking up a substantial amount of my time. But
Hmm.
what he always reminds me in that heated complaint is that it's actually like saving me a lot of time because, hacking has gotten so much more prevalent. It's easier for people to get into systems. It's easier for data to get taken. So that's why companies are putting these two-factor authentication measures in place. I mean, Carl, we had to start doing it for Salesforce a few years ago, which is what we use here internally at Florida Realtors. And, it can be pretty annoying, but I will welcome that minuscule annoyance compared to like having my data stolen. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we deal with more sensitive data online now than ever.
Yeah,
So
right.
because of that, we got to have security measures to
Good
protect
point.
it. And again, you need to preserve and make sure your data is safe, because the last thing you want is not only your information getting out there, but somebody else's that you're working
Yeah.
with. So
Wow, good point.
that's the most important thing, that to setting up these multi-factor authentication services. And as bad as they are, they're doing us a lot of favors.
Yeah. Yeah. No, really well said. Really well said. Well, let's touch on one last call generator and before we wrap things up.
I gotcha. So I'm torn between two,
Okay.
but I'm gonna go with probably the one I think is going to be a little bit more prevalent and a little bit more. So I was going to talk about either file management and backing up data, or I was talking about virus and security concerns. Since we're kind of here already, I think I'm gonna go with the virus topic. But again, if you need help, backing up your stuff, call us. If you need help
Yes.
transferring data from one device to another, call us for sure. But let's hop into kind of the virus and security concerns here. Nowadays, you're going to run into, I would say, probably more scams than you are going to jump into a virus like you know
Right.
and love.
Yeah.
Your scams nowadays are more like the viruses we're used to seeing. One time you're going to be just on Facebook or something, you're going to click on a little notification, and boom, it's Microsoft's going to pop up and play this really loud, dramatic theatrical alarm going, do not shut off your computer, DEFCON 1. The red light flashes behind you, everybody starts panicking, everybody starts throwing their papers up. It really is
Yes.
dramatic. They say, do not shut off your computer. You need to call this number right now. This is not even a virus necessarily. This is
So
actually just an advertisement that they've created
to
such a
look.
theatrical event, right?
Yes.
Because you got to
Wow.
understand, these people are really good at scamming. They're really bad at programming. They have no actual technical knowledge behind them at all. Whenever you run into a situation like that, we always tell you, just call us. If you can, mute it, try to mute it. If not, walk away from it, because it's going to stress you out. That's
Right.
what it's built to do, to get you to panic, to call the number so
Wow.
you can give them your credit card information over the phone and whatnot. That's probably our most common, I would say, virus call we get, is going to be related to, my computer's stuck and it says Microsoft wants me to call this number. And I try to tell people all the time, I love you and you are important, but Microsoft does not think you're important. They
Right.
they do not want you to call them, and they will never ask you to call them for something like a virus or anything like
Right.
that. So just keep that in mind. You could call us and we can help you get rid of that. And it's actually pretty simple to get rid of an issue like that. But then again, there are some real threats out there too that you may run into. And if that's the case, we're going to do everything in our power to get in there with you and try to isolate and quarantine that virus from being able to further do more damage. And then we'll continue to look at doing additional processes on prevention from that point on, because it's one thing to get rid of it, it's another thing to prevent it from happening again. And there's so many different resources out there, free and paid for, that we can use to kind of help you and point you in the right direction, what's best for you and your situation.
And to just continue on with this just for a
Hmm.
moment, a lot of times, to go back to my Gmail and all of kind of the
Hmm.
spam emails that I'm getting, a lot of times there are some shady looking links in
Oh
those,
yeah.
And so what I do is, if it looks real to me, I will sort of hover over it with my mouse so that
Hmm.
I can actually read the address that it's
Hmm.
planning to take me to. And 99.9% of the time, that is some random website that looks strange and fishy to
Hmm.
me. And I'm just sharing this in a very non techie way to say, that's something we can all do to sort of protect ourselves from accidentally clicking on these rogue links that get put in emails and stuff.
Yeah, if you're not certain, don't click on it and
Right.
call us. Yeah,
Yeah.
don't click on it no matter what. That's your safest way. And
Yep.
again, you really should only click on links that you know are coming. Like you
Yes.
got your friend let's say Wendy is going to email you a link here. You know it's coming. You can click on that one. You're expecting it. But when Joe Smith from Idaho emails you, and no offense to Joe Smith in Idaho, but if you're not ready for it, you
Right.
shouldn't click on it.
Yeah.
That's just a really easy security measure that you can go with. But again, if you know you're expecting it, that's something where you can use your judgment and use your own kind of personal thoughts and feelings to go, okay, let's use some common sense. That's gonna be fine. This one's gonna be, I don't know. If you're shaky on it even to a little bit, don't click on it. Don't risk it, because the headaches you're going to go through resolving that issue are not worth the extra 3 seconds you'll get to see that form or whatever they're
For
trying
real.
to entice you to click on, because that is a big avenue on how people get
Yes.
hacked. And if you look back and you go and watch YouTube videos on some of the most famous hackings of all time, it's people clicking on bad links in their email
Wow.
because they just it's a good link, let's click on it, I'm
Hmm.
interested in seeing this news here. Oh, now the whole system's down and we got to call somebody to come in here and get rid of it. And
Yeah.
that's always the worst case scenario. So I'm sure y'all have heard of some of the nightmare stories of like cities and whatnot getting ransomware attacked, where they have to pay
Yes.
a ransom in order to get all their files back. And again, I would hate to be an IT person at that place when that happens,
Right.
because you
So
should
much
be able to
work.
prevent that. Mhm.
Right, absolutely. And I know here at Florida Realtors, I'm sure with Louisiana Realtors as well, our IT teams have really beefed up security in
Mhm.
terms of what's going out, what's coming in, all of that stuff. And Carl, like that is not phishing, right? Phishing is a different type of scam where they try to maybe appear like they're texting you from a certain number to try to get you to respond, or email from a.
It can be. They
Okay.
can be the same thing. Phishing is really is just acting like you're somebody who you aren't, and you're
Hmm.
you're you're, you're acting like a link that you aren't. Phishing really
Right,
is just
gotcha.
the masking of who you truly are into being something else. So whether it's you're acting as a different person, or you're sending a link that looks like it's a YouTube link, but really it's a fake website to get you to sign in and so they can collect your data.
Hmm.
There's so many different ways and different types of attacks, but yeah, a lot of times phishing is the most common because it acts like somebody else and relies on a little bit of social engineering.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I know that is a very common one, and I know at Florida Realtors, people try to fish and claim that there's somebody here on staff, and I know that can be
Hmm.
quite a bit. So I am going to pull up our telephone number here and ways that everyone can reach us. Before we log off, are there any other questions? You are welcome. I appreciate all of the questions in the chat so far. They have been great. Okay, let me share my screen here. See, again, this is when you have a non-techie person trying to do the tech stuff. Let's see here. Am I sharing? Yes,
Yes,
look at
you are.
that. All right, so these are the numbers to reach us. Now, yes, we can help organize files. Another
Yeah,
great question.
please. Please call us. We would love to. That's a really fun one too, helping you kind of get your route trees organized and everything. That's
Yeah.
always a fun time.
We did get one comment in the chat that I just want to briefly touch on
Hmm.
about that our hours are sort of limited. I did want to just explain, 24-hour a day service really wouldn't work for Tech Helpline because we really revere the high level of service that we provide as in the utmost of importance. And unfortunately, with a 24/7 type model and the employment and all of that, that's just not something that we at Florida Realtors can really get behind. However, I do want to encourage you, like I know so many of you do work late night, and you're working at 1 a.m. trying to get a contract buttoned up. If you have those questions, just send us a quick email. I know we're not getting you the answer immediately, but we'll help you out in the morning and get that sorted for you. And I do feel like you will probably be satisfied knowing that that customer support level is really, really high for you throughout that service. So you can reach us via chat, email, or the phone number during the office hours. And if there are no other questions, someone just said, this sounds like an amazing service. I guarantee you it is amazing. And when you call us for the first time, you'll be surprised. So, Danielle, thank you so much for having us.
Thank
It was
you,
really
guys.
fun.
Thank you.
Thank y'all so much for kind of going over everything with us, and I learned some stuff too, so that's nice. Awesome. Well, everyone, again, we'll post this recording on our member benefits page that Jessica showed you earlier. So, you know, give them a call, download the app. The QR code's right there on your screen. And everybody have a great weekend. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a
Thank
great
y'all
weekend.
for having us.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.